I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. I'm breaking in. Breaking in.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. This is a team that may be out of the playoff chase at this point, but they're an organization with a ton of pride. And they'll be playing hard all the way to the final whistle of the final game, no matter where they are in the standings. It's the Bengals going up against the Texans. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, it is set to host Super Bowl 51 on February 5th of next year as you take a look inside NRG Stadium here in Houston. Tonight, we've got an AFC matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans.
All right, here we go.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here we go now. Gun.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So it'll be first down here after the run.
Hey, we got 4 down. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
A handoff running left is Miller. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. The rookie William Jackson III with a tackle. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Corey Graham has everything you're looking for in a safety. The ability to come up and tackle, as well as play the deep zones.
And ready for 3rd and 6.
Over! Kill! Now let's go! Bring it up, Philly! Here we go!
From the gun, it's Osweiler. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They come out here in the eye. A first carry now. This is Hill. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it again with Miller. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Adam Jones. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And here's the offensive unit, and we highlight a very good guy, A.J. Green.
Let's just make it simple. He's a game breaker.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Underneath here to Hill. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. 3rd down from the gun. Dalton complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Tyler Eifert has become one of the most reliable red zone targets in the league. Personally, I think he's one of the most reliable targets, period, and there's no doubt Andy Dalton's going to look for him in this situation.
They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
The intensity that Jeremy Hill runs the football with is ideal for goal line situations.
Yeah, he's a bruiser. We may see another dose of him coming up.
Yeah, he's a lot to handle for any defense, especially in tight situations. Did your high school have that same push him back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Yeah, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, he rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Houston. after the interception. Here's Osweiler. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll give the Texans a first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
A first down carry now for Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Here's a give to Miller. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Vincent Ray, the linebacker, in on the tackle. 2nd down following the run. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They come out here in the eye. Now a carry for the fullback. This is Jay Prosh. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
This is Miller. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now they'll throw it with Osweiler. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position, but as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
You know, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Here we go now. 319. 319.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And he'll bang that one through. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Yeah, he better hope that he's lonesome, because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
Here's Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Dalton throwing on second down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there at 22. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together, and now it's paying off in the game.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Brief break in the action here. We're back to Houston after this timeout. On is Nick Novak now to try the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And Novak's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And here comes the Texans now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Second and 10, it's Osweiler again. Caught left side, Hopkins. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Third down and 1. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. They'll run for it here. This is Prosch, the fullback. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bengals take possession. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The play fake to Hill. Dalton. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
As a former DB, I never want to do anything to take away credit from a good play, and we just saw one there, able to force an incompletion by knocking the pass away. But if you're a DB in Houston, you love what you're getting up front because it makes you that much better. The defensive pressure that they get on quarterbacks, where they're often running for their life, or they're having to throw it faster than they want to, or their sight lines aren't very good, it helps you become a better cover guy. And I think the Houston Texans defensive backs take advantage of that.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A dump off now to Hill. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Charles on the slant. You always need good ball placement. They got it there.
Brandon, the quarterback, put it in the exact perfect spot, right to the upfield shoulder of the receiver, and he used his body to keep the defender away.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Kevin Johnson. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in a run game. No gain.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion, they'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Just 1 yard to go here on 2nd down. And an alley to run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Fresh set of downs here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Osweiler on first down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Fedorowicz, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he finds Tyler Croft. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Underneath here to Hill. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Going right side here, and that's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. From midfield here, Dalton. That is incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Here's Dalton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Another chance for Dalton. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They set up the screen to Hill. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Dalton with a give to Hill. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They're going to hurry back to the line now. 2nd down, Dalton. This will be caught at about the 5. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Jeremy Hill, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing, Dalton, and this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets him back within a field goal. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Here's Osweiler. And this is incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Osweiler caught left side, Hopkins. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the 1st down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out here in the eye. And they'll run for it with Miller. Lamar Miller stops short of the sticks. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they do.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. And quickly, they get to the line. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Well, you talk about clutch right down the pipe, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
And he didn't leave much doubt there, did he? Good snap, good hold, and that one was dead center.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Unable
to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Here's Osweiler to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here we go. Green, 39. No. Check. Patriot. Watch it now, Marty.
Throwing now, Osweiler on 1st down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. And Miller with it over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
It's complete. It's Miller. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Here's Osweiler. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have...
And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And Charles, he hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
Exactly. And this was by far the most nerve-wracking. They just stepped up and calmly banged it through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand.